And good morning, everyone. Thanks, everyone, for being here. For those on the call, please be sure to mute your device while not speaking. Call to order. Today is, if I can remember today's date, is March 30th, 2021. Out of an abundance of caution and pursuant to recommendation from federal, state, and local health agencies regarding avoiding group gatherings due to COVID-19 coronavirus, this meeting is teleconference meeting. Advanced public comments have been possible through email and will be read or played at the time of the relevant agenda items. I will now take a roll call of board members in attendance. When I say your name, please say present. Shanalyn Brett-Meyer.
Present.
Dana Schroering.
Present.
Lindsey Gensen.
Present.
Brian Russman.
Present.
Brian Mansfield.
Present.
Willie James Sims, big fella.
Present.
We have new board members, but they are not present today, but I want to welcome them anyways. Jin Lee and Bryn Plummer. Also present today, Rachel Kenyon. Cameron McCaslin.
I am here.
John Ferguson.
Present.
Chris Singleton.
Present.
And myself, Shayla Paz, chair of the board. Please take a moment to, well, I was gonna say introduce yourself, but they're not here. So they will introduce themselves on the next meeting. The board must vote on the record that COVID-19 pandemic require us to hold a telephonic meeting as permitted under the government executive law order number 16. Do I have a motion to hold an electronic meeting?
So moved.
So moved.
I'll second.
All right, Sienna Lynn, thank you for moving, and Brian, thank you for seconding it. All those in favor of holding an electronic meeting say yay.
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 Oppose? Okay, motion carries into record. Do I have a motion to suspend the rules in order to hold an electronic meeting?
So moved.
Thank you, Brian. Do I have a
Second.
second?
Second.
Shanna. Thank you, Shanna. All those in favor of suspending the rules in order to hold an electronic meeting, please say yay.
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 Oppose? Motion carries into record. All right. In the email that I sent the board meetings for February. Please take a moment to review. And I don't know if you get a chance to review the video I sent also for the last meeting. When you're ready, please take a moment to approve it into record.
We move to approve the minutes from the last meeting.
Do I have a second?
Second.
All right, thank you, Brian. Thank you, Shanalyn. Minutes from February has been put into record. In the email, I have also attached the financials for the month of February and the year to date provided by Rachel. Also, I went and deposited some checks that came in. I met with Cam last week in person. And he provided some checks, so I deposited and I sent copies to Rachel. Rachel, is there anything else that is not included in the financials? I cannot hear you. You're muted.
There's that was about $250 roughly, and then there's a few PayPal things that have come in. Our leeway as of today, this moment for cash is 2.8 months. And it looks like our PPP forgiveness did get approved. So that's off the to-do list officially.
Congratulations. Rachel, I just had a question on the financials. There's a negative $20,000 balance in accounts receivables.
Yeah, I think that I've got to look at what that is. I hadn't really noticed it, except for that I think it has to do with had somebody who needed an invoice generated in order to do something that never got taken off when it got posted. So I'll take a look at that.
Okay.
I will look at it now so I can tell you in a few minutes. Anybody else have any questions?
So we have something came in through some funding. I don't know if it was the Facebook thing that I did that it finally came through, but I'm glad that we got something come through there.
We're assuming that that's what that was.
And so we are also talking to John Belafonte about the 990. We're just speaking with Cam before you all came in about the big payback is coming up, and tomorrow is the deadline to finish updating the profile with the financials. So I'm not sure where are we with that, Rachel, what I need to put in there because the 990 has not been filed, I don't think.
No, I mean, he's, in theory, John's working on the 990 and I don't know what his status on it is. One of the problems that we have though is that I think one of the things that you requested was a year's worth of, or the fiscal year's worth of bank statements.
Mm-hmm.
And if you remember, I sent that email to the bank and copied you on it because I don't have any, power at the bank. I can't get those statements. And I don't know, like he hasn't answered yet. He never answered that email to say, so I think, and my understanding is that we need to give them PDF copies of all of those.
Yeah, I downloaded this last 6 months that I had access to, and my name hasn't been attached to the account yet. So I did call Tyler, and he sent the person who is in charge of the NECAT account an email and copied me. And he replied that he was going to call me on Friday. I said, I'm not available on Friday. Please call me Monday. And I never heard from him. So at this point, I don't know what else to do except to print out the press release, get my ID, and go into the bank and sit there and ask the manager to, put me into the account.
Right.
I think that's what I need to do at this point.
Yeah, well, and the 6 statements that I sent you, that's as far back as online will go. You have to request them, but I can't request them. And then the other thing I was going to comment though is it's possible that what you need to do is go ahead and submit whatever application you need to submit and let them come back and say there's missing items. I don't know if that's the right answer, but it's something to think about because with some systems that gets you your place marker in the door. Some things it's not the right thing to do, but I don't know. And so that's that's the thing we're stuck with. And then whatever John's status is, I think I've given John everything else he's wanted. So
I'll follow up with him this afternoon and see what he says. And,
So who has access to the bank accounts then right now? Is it just Tyler?
I do, but my name is not attached into the account as the contact. It's still Tyler. So when I went to deposit, I had to show her my ID and do this whole explanation who I was. And she was still like looking at me with doubt, like, who are you? And why you have these checks? So
does Aisha have access to the stuff as our treasurer?
I don't think so.
She should, unless someone took her off of it. Whenever Tyler switched everything over to Shayla, because, but I haven't heard from Aisha recently, so I'm not certain.
Because I know that she, as treasurer, I thought that she would be a signer on the account. But then I also feel like that person at the bank who's been our contact, I don't understand why he's not able to give us information. Like there's lots of clients that I have that I'm not on their account, but once there's a communication with their banker, and I just feel like we don't have a banker.
And I think that the person that is assigned to the NECAT account, he's not even in Davidson County. So I have to call him, and I left him like 3 voice messages and never returned my calls. So I will try to figure out something this afternoon. So moving on to Giving Matters, and then and also no, we already talked about Giving Matters. The GoFundMe. The GoFundMe, they decided that they were not going to do GoFundMe campaigns for nonprofits anymore. So I was asking Rachel to look into PayPal. They have an option to have a link, PayPal.me/NECAT. So I don't know if you got a chance to look at that.
No, I'm not, honestly, I'm not really sure what you mean there. We have a PayPal button and it's got to be on our website because people pay their memberships there.
Okay, so
So I
when
don't
you
know why
log
we
in,
don't just put that link on the main page.
no, that is a different issue.
Okay.
So if you log in into PayPal,
As NECAT?
yes,
Okay.
and the homepage, they have different buttons and different cute things there, and there is one that says create your own personal link. And it says PayPal.me/ and then you can create the own name that you want. So that's what I saw that we should do for the Feel Good Fridays tapings, because we cannot send people to GoFundMe anymore.
So you said when you log into your homepage, what is it that I'm looking for?
PayPal.me. It's a create your own personalized button.
I'll have to look for this. I don't see it.
Okay,
So
stay on after, and then I'll show you.
Okay, all right.
All right, so I think that's it about money and financials. Has anyone any other questions about the financials or recommendations or things to say about the financials? No? Okay, so do I have a motion to move to approve the financials?
So moved.
All right, thank you, Jana. Do I have a second?
Second.
Okay, I have 3 people saying second. So Brian, thank you. Everyone that is all that's in those approved say yay.
Yay.
Yay?
Yay.
Yay.
Oppose? All right, motion carries into records.
And that was Brian Rossman. That negative number is because there wasn't an invoice generated to match an old Ascend payment, and so I just created one, so that negative number will go away.
Okay, cool.
Okay.
All right, so up to the next is Feel Good Fridays, Channeline.
Yes, so we've got a couple of Feel Good Fridays coming up. Let me just pull up the schedule here. Thank you for everybody. As we start to schedule these, I'm reaching out and saying your availability. I'll let you know, because I really do like to have, a variety of board members do these interviews. So if you are interested in participating in those, let me know. I've got a list of everybody, or I can send it out to the entire board. You guys just let me know which you would prefer. That way we can schedule them. So we've got, we are planning out until April 30th so far. So our next availability is April 30th. So that's a really good thing. We'll schedule out till May as well. I've got a list of some coming up. So we're moving right along with Feel Good Fridays. So if you've got ideas for nonprofits, let me know. I've got a list here and I just check them off as we contact them. So we've got some people that have reached out to us as well. So I think the word is out there. I did want to pass on a note from the legal aid for when they did their Feel Good Fridays. They had people reach out to them and say, hey, I saw this and I realized what all you guys do and I need your services. So I'm so thankful that they followed up, because that is exactly what we're trying to do with Feel Good Friday. So I wanted to pass that along of it's getting noticed. People are reaching out for services of these nonprofits. So that's a Feel Good Tuesday for us. So But as you have ideas or you know think of things, feel free to give me a call, send me a text, send me an email. We're just going to keep this going. I know there are some monthly observances coming up that we had talked about at a previous board meeting of highlighting some of those. For example, June is Pride Month. So for June, I'm going to reach out to some nonprofits that are specifically about Pride Month and see if we can get those scheduled for June. But if anything else like that comes up, let me know. If you think of those or if you're involved in the community in some way and there's a monthly observance, I would love to tie that in. So just if you have ideas, reach out. I'm always here. If I don't answer, I promise I will get to it, or just remind me. So
I'll knock on
thanks
your
everybody
door.
for your work on it. Yeah, thank you all for your work on Feel Good Friday. So I really appreciate it.
Charlene, I'll introduce you to one of the board members over at Nashville Pride.
Perfect. That'd be great.
Fantastic. Thank you, Shiana. You're doing an incredible job too. And I pop in every now and then and do one recording with her. So it's been fun. It's cool. And I'm sorry,
It's a lot of fun.
I forgot to send out the graphic for Conexión, but I'm glad that we're re-airing it this week. And I'm excited for the next 4 tapings that we have already planned. All right.
Yeah.
So, Cam, could you please tell us your report?
Absolutely. So we had a pretty good month and a pretty busy month at NECAT. Members continue to record at home. We actually had 2 brand new shows created this month that are going to start airing soon. Additionally, we had episodes of ongoing shows that are still being turned in. So we still have a great selection of new TV coming on all the time. We're still making cameras available for rental, and the Metro staff is overseeing that the pickup and drop off of all of that. That program has been going pretty well. I don't think we've had very many bumps in the road when it's come to that. Our last school job shadow, I actually got an email this morning. It is set up for tomorrow morning. That's kind of the last piece of that we had committed to, that we have to do and that we want to do for this year. So after tomorrow, say we'll be wrapped up with that for the year. Rec Walker, who I spoke about last month, they had created a mayor's subcommittee that he was just looking at some other ideas for us. I haven't spoke with him at all, other than I reached out to him yesterday just to see if I could get some kind of update to give to you guys today. He did reach out to me this morning. He hoping that we could get together. It wasn't able to happen before the meeting, but I'm hoping to have a phone call with him sometime this week. And so hopefully next month we'll have some more information about anything that they're trying to put together for us to present. We recorded the first We Foster film on March 16th. With a panel on disability in film and television. It went amazing. Big Fella was on that call with me. It was just really good altogether. We're recording tonight again for the second episode, and we're setting up future recordings now. We had started out with the idea of doing at least 4 of these. I think it's something that we may be able to continue to do a couple more. And with this is just talking to professionals about stuff that's happening in film and television as far as like how they got their career started. We've got a couple different people that have committed to doing it. We're just trying to lock dates in right now on that. I want to thank Shauna Lynn. She's been there to kind of help set up the calls for us and just make sure that we have all the Zoom stuff going. But it's been really good. We already talked a little bit about Feel Good Friday, obviously, but this past month we aired the Connexión last week, and we're going to air it again this week because we didn't get a chance to promote it the way we wanted to. We also aired an episode from Dismas House. And like Charlene said previously, we have 4 new ones on the book, and it's going exceptionally well. It makes me feel really good to know that someone reached out and saw that, and we're able to kind of make it work. That is the power of television. That is what we offer here at NECAT. That's the one thing that I think we have that other nonprofits don't have. So it's really neat to hear that. Let's see what else.
Hey, Cam, on We Foster Films, let's just talk offline. I might have an idea or somebody that we might be able to interview for that, but I wanted to run it by you. So just remind me, if we haven't talked in a couple of weeks from now, remind me, okay. And let's see if we can maybe work that out. But it might be really cool. So.
That sounds great. And I will say too, if any of the board members want to watch the taping, say I'm happy to send a Zoom link tonight. Last week we actually opened it up The panelists were all on. We had a couple of members from our NECAT group and a couple of people that the filmmakers had invited to watch live. And everyone was really great. They turned the mics off, just listened. And at the end of it, when the recording had stopped for the show, we took a couple minutes to do a Q&A. That way, anybody that was in the live audience could ask filmmakers question. That won't be on the broadcast version of it, but it was great just to be able to connect them in that way. We're still talking to organizations just about creating new content for right now and for whenever we come back. Just having some really positive stuff come to light with that say we can talk about in any of our subcommittee stuff on the creative side. But just to let everyone know, like that's all going well. And if anyone has any ideas for things that we can do, please reach out to me, so we can start putting those kind of things together on paper and add them to our business plan that I know you guys have been working hard on, getting together. I wanted to propose that April 14th, we have a member meeting. I know we've talked about that the last 2 months about trying to get a member meeting on, and we haven't been able to, it hasn't come together the way that I had hoped it was. But I just wanted to put it out there to everyone, and I can send an email about this. But April 14th, I think it would be good to do a member meeting. I think it would be good for any of the board members to be there to help answer those questions. Obviously, we don't have, a response from Nashville State on when we're going to be reopening. But I do get emails weekly, if not daily, just kind of asking about what's going on, what's the status, what can we be doing right now. And I think it's just good to check in with all the people that make up NECAT as membership. So April 14th is when I'm planning on doing that. If anyone is available to be on that panel and just talk with people, say I would appreciate it. If not, I totally understand, but that's my plan for this next month on when that's going to happen. And the only thing that really is pressing, we've already spoken about too, the Giving Matters profile is due by the end of day tomorrow. And that kind of works into the big payback and everything, which we've already spoke about. Just putting it on record because it's in my notes. That's kind of the last need to that's kind of immediate, but everything else I think is going well. If anyone's got any questions for me, I'm happy to answer them. But it felt like a very busy month here at NECAT. Like I said, I did get to meet with Shayla in person. We also did have a subcommittee meeting where me, Shayla, and Big Fella got together and just try to look at different ways we can do better at our social media, trying to get some stuff planned and organized. I know last month we talked about on the boards, like I can't do all that myself and still continue to do the day-to-day duties of all of it. So we're looking for anything that's going to help. If anyone has any ideas about that, really it's just the idea of like committing to the idea of creating some campaigns, creating that content and putting it out, in a way that is more organized and straightforward. So I know there's a lot of ideas on that. Again, we could talk about all that in creative subcommittee. But just if you have ideas or if you want to take the reins of something like that and kind of run with it to be more present in our social media, I'm happy to give anyone the password and abilities to do that. So just let me know. But again, if anyone's got questions, I'm happy to answer them.
I have a question about the We Foster film. Is each panel and episode thematic? Like what? Because I may also have some ideas of people who could participate or themes we could do.
It is. So the one that we shot 2 weeks ago that hasn't aired yet is on disability. So all 4 of our panelists were people who have disabilities who have worked in film and television in some capacity. So that was the first one. We plan to air that the same week that we run the Feel Good Friday with Able Youth. Amy, who was on that panel, she was on our panel and she will also be on the Able Youth panel. We've done a lot of work with Able Youth over the years as far as doing camps. We run the wheelchair basketball tournament that was, I guess, 3 years ago. We still air it on television now. So we're committed, and I am personally committed to making sure that, people are getting seen from all walks of life. I think it's super important that as a NECAT that we're showing that like people have the ability to do this, even with the term disability put on them. And so this one that we're having tonight is more straightforward. It's indie filmmakers. It's people who have made feature length movies on a low budget scale and just kind of how they're living their life. So, we had planned to do one on screenwriting. We had planned to do one just like on people like that do set decor. We talked about doing one that is more geared towards like people that want to work in news and documentary kind of content and things like that. So it is very much themed. We're always just looking for representation across the board from all walks of life. It's like the idea is rather than get people that know each other to talk to each other, is find people who don't know each other at all, put them in the same box, and let them just kick back and forth ideas. It's very conversational. Whenever the first episode's totally finished, we'll send that out both on the YouTube link, and it'll start airing. Really, it's pretty close at this point. Dana has committed to doing some voiceover work for the start and end of it, for just basically shouting out the Dugas Family Foundation, who underwrote the programming for this year for this. And so hopefully we'll have that turned around and airing in a couple of weeks on television, and as well as the second episode, I think will be right behind it. And hopefully this will just be a weekly series. We're going to run it on a couple of different channels. It's about an hour long, and so it'll be in rotation a lot. If the one tonight goes as well as the one last week, we're going to have a really good program all the way across the board.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking too. Like with my past is like more that TV perspective. And then also something that I don't think people always think about is corporate video. And that's what my husband does. That's what I did before my current job. And just I think it's important for filmmakers to understand that there's other avenues for it. You know, like obviously we all want to make films, but sometimes you also have to eat dinner. So there's.
I agree completely. I think any if we could touch all the different ways that people can turn their hobby into a career. But again, not even focus on, it's like, for some people, I think this always will be a hobby. NECAT is there for those people, but for people that are trying to get trained for a career, we also want to be there for those people. So I think, I really do think that this is the kind of thing that we can continue to do for the foreseeable future. We've got, it's like we worked, I think, most of the bugs out on this last one. So I think this is going to be one of those things where we can start doing this as a regular ongoing series, and hopefully knock out two a month, as it goes forward.
Cool. Well, I would love to connect with you on that and see if there's some other ideas for some episodes. So
fantastic. Before I move on to John, I wanted, I know that Brian only have 15 minutes with us because he's time change for work. And I think we needed to vote on something that I've been running around my head, that when I was talking to Cam about this, and I've been taking some classes, training on the big payback. And they said that it will be a good idea to have the big payback as a kickoff for the whole year fundraising. So instead of just saying, we need to raise whatever people can donate, I think that we need to have a $10,000 donation goal for the big payback, and a $50,000 for the raising for the year, fundraising for the year. So in that way, we can constantly be working on getting people to donate towards meeting our goal. So if we set the goal for 10,000 for the big payback, we can tell them that the money is to get NECAT rebranded, which is going to cost us about $4,000. And about $5,000, and $4,000 for paying for the audit. The audit is all the way around it. We have to do it. Is a mandate by Metro, and there is no way to get it done cheaper than $4,000. So if you all agree with this idea, we need to vote, and then we can start planning on it. And I have several ideas that I talked to Kim about how we can make that happen, and we just need to put it into work. Anybody?
Are we voting on 10,000 for big payback, or an overarching goal of 50,000? Because I have a little concerns with a $50,000 goal, and how, like, I would want to see what our plan is before we make a stretch goal of just like throwing a number out there. You know what I mean? I want to make sure that we think we can tactically reach it. And then the same
for now, we need to have the 10,000 goal or 9,000 goal for the big payback, so we can do the rebranding and also pay for the audit, because the money that we have available now, we need to keep Cam paid, and we're still waiting for the second round of PPP to be granted. So, so we need to take action on that.
I got a question.
Yes, sir.
Have we done the big payback in the past?
In the what?
Have we done the big payback in the past?
Yes.
What
But
was
the money raised was like $250 or something last year. So there was
So-
never like a big campaign or anything to get actually people to donate. So if we do the things that I just learned and taking all this training with them, I think it's very achievable.
Yeah, to mention what Shayla was just talking about, I think last year was our first year of the big payback, and I think we maybe had one post on Facebook about the big payback, and that was it. We haven't participated in years past, so it's not like we have years of campaigns to build upon. So this would be a big push to.
Yeah,
and I think we should. I mean, the big payback is a county-wide, community-wide effort, and there are some nonprofits that really have it down and raise a lot of money.
Yeah. And based on the feedback from other nonprofits on these trainings that they've been doing, is very achievable if you have a campaign in place to start from now. So when that day comes, people already know. So we can discuss all the details in the subcommittee. So you just guys let me know whether that is something that we should do and we need to vote on.
Yeah, I think that's a good idea. And with the context that you've been doing some of the trainings, to get us there, that makes me feel better. I just didn't want to say, hey, let's try and raise $10,000 with a social.
Yeah, we just need to campaign for it and tell people why we need the money and
Right.
what is it going to be used for, and then have an actual plan for that day, and it will work. I am 100% sure that it will work. And I don't know if we're going to raise the 10,000, but we might be able to raise at least half. People are very given, and all these nonprofits that have been participating have been able to reach their goals or half of their goals, and some people surpass their goals. So we just need to have a clear message of what we want to achieve with this fundraiser. And that will help us, reach a bigger goal at the end of the year. So we cannot stay focused only on membership or donation from the DeGoff family or from the Ascend. We need to think outside the box of how we can keep the money coming in, so we can run the station.
Can I chime in on this?
Yes.
And just say, so, I do think it's ambitious. I think it's worth being ambitious. Kind of one of the things that, I know that we're going to need if we choose to go down this road is making sure that there is time for all of our board members to participate in both the creative and the planning side of this, as well as on the day be committed to, helping on the social media side of it. I know a lot of other nonprofits have had board commitments of maybe not stuff that they donate personally, but they are willing to go out and seek it from other people. So I would say that before anyone places their vote, and I don't have a vote for this, but if you vote with a yes, I would look at that as a commitment as you going out and trying to seek out people and spreading the good word of NECAT. I know we've got board members that are doing that daily, and it's like I appreciate all of you so much, but this will be work because I don't think it's as easy as turning it on and leaving the button up there and saying, well, we need $10,000. It doesn't work that way. It's a lot of hustle and a lot of getting the word out. So again, I would say before any of you, make a vote, just be prepared that, it is that part of it. There is that little bit of elbow grease in it. So.
And Lindsay, to your point, yeah, and I just see you responded on here. Yeah, there's ways to play the game with the big payback. And I don't remember all the ins and outs. It's been like 6 years since I worked in nonprofit, but there's like prizes. And I remember like at National Cares, we had somebody who like matched for an hour. You know what I mean? So it was like, if you donate to the big payback to National Cares within this hour, this donor will match. So I can't remember all the games, Lindsay. It sounds like you've probably got the intel, and Shayla, hopefully that's what they were training you on. But I want to make sure that it's not just a social campaign, that there's strategy in that day and the timing of our posts. Also, Kim, can we engage our members I mean, do
Yes.
we have like a distribution list that we can say, like a toolkit of social stuff that's like, help us that day?
Yes.
We have both a MailChimp account that is connected to, I want to say, about 1,800 different people. Where our social media, as far as our membership goes, is more in. There's a private Facebook group that's set up for people who have cleared through the classes. There are several members that are constantly active on there. I'm sure if we were to reach out to them, they would be happy to help volunteer for the big payback and help spreading the word. It's just a matter of getting the information and getting people to volunteer beforehand. But I am certain that we would have a couple members that would jump in on that.
So what do you guys think? 10,000 is too much, like Lindsay's saying, or can we go for exactly the 9 that we need?
I mean, I say we go, I mean, I think 10 is ambitious, and I say we go for it. And if we get 5, then we get 5. I mean, that pays for the audit, you know, so I mean,
we can continue. We can continue. You know,
Yeah.
the doing the campaign. They now have a button there. It seems that they added that you can continue raising funds throughout the year, so we can meet the
Right.
goal. If we don't meet it that day out, the campaign now is 24 hours.
So is the goal public? That was going to be my one question. Like, is this
Yes,
goal
it's
internal
public.
to the board? Oh, okay. So that's a little bit different. I mean, I would say maybe like 5 or 6. And if we have an internal goal of 10, we reach it, because I'd rather say, hey, we had a goal of 5 and we doubled it, instead of we had a goal of 10 and we only got half. It's just a perception thing.
Okay.
So
That sounds
since it's
good.
public. Yeah. And then we can, I mean, we reached that goal, we can send out an email that says, hey, look at us, you know?
Yeah.
So.
And then maybe we win some prizes too. So
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
Is it a risk though, because people might stop giving at some point? I mean, I know that I've done that on smaller things for friends or people who are like raising money for a friend of a friend, where I'll see, oh, they're like at their goal, I don't have to worry about it now. You don't want people to stop just because of struggle either.
No, I don't think people stop donating just because you reach a goal. You just need to keep engaging people throughout the day, so they are encouraged to vote, to donate, and then just think of a bigger picture. You know, we need to tell them that this is our kickoff event for our fundraising of the year of an X amount that we need to reach for the year. So in that way, they say, oh, they need to reach this goal, let's help them, you know.
Yeah.
So with
Yeah, I
that
think I'm more
said,
comfortable with that. I can make a motion that we publicize 5. We have an internal of we want to reach more than that, of 10 at least, but I'd say our public is 5, and then we really promote it and that kind of thing. So that would be my motion, if that is what everybody else agrees with. I see some heads shaking.
I agree with that.
all right. So are you seconding it, Brian?
Sure do.
Okay. So do everybody agree? Say yay.
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 All right, we got somewhere. Thank you so much. I know that Brian had to leave, so that I wanted to make sure that we talk about this before he left. I appreciate your time, and I'll see you soon.
And Brian, I'll reach out about Feel Good Friday. I know you had sent me some dates, and they picked another date, but I'll keep you in the loop on those things as well.
I also didn't get a chance yesterday to send the doodle for some times for you guys to meet up with me for the marketing or the business plan. So I'll send it this afternoon and see if we can all work on that, so we can discuss the different ideas for the marketing, for the big payback and moving forward, and also for the finalizing the business plan. All right, on to John. It's your turn. You've been bored.
Thank you, Shayla.
You're welcome.
My report is going to be short. We're still closed the studio. We are still in phase 2 from Nashville State. We're checking out equipment to members who have requested and paid for it. The one update is we actually had an issue this past month with our NECAT Roku app. So the app that people can use in order to view our channel on the Roku device was having some issues. It was down for a few weeks, maybe longer. And I think something that was encouraging is that we had some people who, use it regularly and watch it, and were notified us that they was having issues. So we got that back up. It took a little bit of work, considering it's through a free service that was set up from an intern that we had years ago. The good news is now it's up and running, and in addition to the live channels that we have on there, I've also added a promo, the NECAT promo that Tim Jarvis had created years ago. And so what we can potentially do now is use our Roku channel to put any other promotional videos that we want to get out to the public who are watching through the Roku app. If we wanted to put together a video campaign for the any sort of fundraising or otherwise efforts, we can maybe funnel those through our Roku app through me. So if anybody has any videos that we'd like to cam, or if anybody else has any videos that we want to add to the Roku app, send those through to me, and we can get those on there, and then it's just another avenue for promotion.
That sounds fantastic. I think we should put a PSA up, like the ones that you created before, where maybe we can add something to the end that says, donate, big payback coming up, put the PayPal address up, and that way we can.
I think that's a good idea.
Yeah. Fantastic. Thank you so much. Chris, anything new on your end?
No, nothing new for me. I'm pretty much covered everything. We're just sitting around waiting.
Yeah, the waiting game. So we'll see.
I am encouraged by the fact that people are still submitting content, still, creating new shows. I think that this is an opportunity for people to, be a little bit more creative in their producing and their content creation, and people are stepping up and answering the call. So I think that our membership is creative, and they like to produce, and they're producing even in challenging times. I think that we're getting, obviously, with people getting vaccines, we have to be getting closer to Nashville State moving into the next phase, and then allowing us to reopen. So I'm hopeful that we're very close to the end. I think a lot of people are, and so I'm hoping that it's not too much longer. So let's keep hoping that people keep continuing to get their vaccines and continue to social distance and everything that we've been doing for the last year.
What is the latest with the new Metro employee? I think last meeting you guys said that you'd been interviewing.
Yeah, so we have a candidate that we love. We are, because of we learned last week that we are the committee that Trish and other people from different boards from the mayor's office are on. We're currently sort of paused on that position for until that's resolved. So unfortunately, I think that we're stuck in sort of a limbo period for right now.
Wow. So talking about programs, we actually have 2 new members, don't we, Kim? I recommended 2 Latinos. One is doing a TV show about women, everything about women. And the other one was a cooking show in Spanish. So have they sent any content yet, Cam?
Not yet. We've connected on some emails, but we're still, I guess, working through all of the just the creative side of it. I think they're putting all their stuff together, and hopefully we'll have some shows submitted soon enough.
Okay, cool. And I also wanted to ask, I don't know who is in charge of the website, but we need to know who is handling the website, because we need to get that button, that donate button, really big up front, like the green button that says the watch TV, make TV. We need something like right in the middle, and we haven't been able to get that done yet.
So Cameron, if you want to take this, I think that we've been trying to, currently Tim Jarvis has been sort of doing any sort of minor updates on the website, but we're trying to get that passed along to somebody on the NECAT side. in the future. I think that if it's something simple like that, we could probably, either I or Tim or somebody on our side could probably add that button if it's not too big of a change. But like I've been saying, we're just trying to get somebody else to kind of accept that responsibility so that it's not on our side that we're updating website and making sort of creative decisions like that. So Cameron, if you have anything to add, if you have any.
Yeah, I know during the last board meeting, we talked about reaching out to Hands on Nashville. I know Big Fella did that. There was a questionnaire that I'm not sure that we got everything answered for them that they needed. So I'll try to take a look at that again later this week. And hopefully we can get someone through them to volunteer to help us build a new website, which is what we need. There was some discussion about pausing on that until we had decided what we were going to do about the rebranding, just because if we redo the website now and then rebrand a couple months from now, we'll have to do it again. But Tim did do a big update right before he moved into some of his new responsibilities, fixed some of the things on the website that were not working, and changed some just basic information that me and him had talked about. But it is, at this point, it is on us as NECAT and us as you as the board to decide how we're going to run with that. Obviously, we don't have funding for that at the moment. So I think it's going to have to come through a program like Hands on Nashville to get a web designer to do it. Otherwise, I think it's best if we make a list of exactly what we want, put it in an email and send it my way and maybe over to John. We can figure out the best way and what is physically able to do right now, which are simple tasks and maybe even big picture stuff that we want for the future. Anyone who has a concern on the website, I think it's just a matter of putting it all in an email, sending it my way, and I can compile that all into one document, and we can have this needs to be done and this is a want list, and me and John can look at that and see what's possible right at this moment. That's what I would say we should do.
I think that the primary thing is to put that button a little bigger and center on the website. That's all. Until we get the funds to either rebrand and update the website. If rebranding means updating the website as well. But for now, we just need that to be a little bit more the focus on the website, because now it's like hidden on the corner on the top, and I think people don't look up there to donate. So as soon as people get on the website, boom, there it is. Donate. Please donate.
Shayla, I'll take a look at that after this meeting and see if there's something we can add a little bit bigger for the front page.
All right, great. Thank you so much. For the big payback, I was asking Big Fella if we can get the Nashville people to have the t-shirt for NECAT ready. So for anybody that donates $50 or more, we give them a t-shirt. And did you get the chance to talk to them about that?
Yeah, I've been waiting on them for a couple of things to get back to me. I just texted them and said he's been going through a bunch of personal issues, but he's supposed to be reaching out to me. So I don't know about the t-shirt. I'll ask him. I was trying to just get him on what we talked about initially first, to at least get back on track with that. And then I'll ask him about the shirt once he tells me what's up with the Feel Good Friday thing.
Okay, sounds good, my friend. So another things that I was asking Cam about was if we can get our members to send us photos or clips or whatever that the content that they are creating, so we can use that for the big payback as well as a part of the promotion, part of telling people what we do in NECAT, because a lot of people don't really know about NECAT. So that is something that we need to do on social media and reach out to the members via email. Anything else? I think I don't have anything else on my end. I know I got a lot, 20,000 things on my mind to help NECAT, but that's it for me. If there is anything else that you guys have in mind to discuss or talk about. Oh, the sponsorship questionnaire that was sent to us by the 7 people. We never got around to that. I didn't have the answers to some of those questions. Did you guys get a chance to look at that email?
Was that different from the big payback? Or I'm sorry, the pregnancy brain.
Hands
The
on
one for the
that.
website.
Yeah, it was different.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, I don't know if I saw that.
I'll find it and resend it.
Yeah, they send a really nice PDF with, you know, like 15 questions on it and recommendations. And I didn't answer because I didn't know most of the answers to those questions.
I'm not sure that I saw a copy of that either. So big fella, could you send that my way too?
Shayla, are you looking at it now? Are you in there? Let me find it. If you're not already in it, don't worry about it. I thought you were already in there. Let me see. I will resend that though. I'll find it and resend it.
Hang on, I'm looking for it. See if I can send it through the chat here. 77. Yes, I got it. I just sent it through the chat here.
Might be easier, might be better to email it so we can.
Okay. Let's see.
Yeah, I'm looking through my email. I remember the one coming through for all hand, or what's it called? Nashville on all hands or whatever.
Hands on Nashville.
Hands on Nashville. Golly, I could not put the words together. I'm like, I know what it is.
Can somebody reply all so I can see the get too many emails?
You mean the messages on the,
On the email, yeah, on the invite, so I can get
I will say to that comment, anytime you email, if you can put in the body what it pertains to as far as the show or the organization, it does make my life much easier when going to search it, because every piece of email for everything that comes to the studio comes across my desk at one point or another, and it gets very tedious to go through all that email. So if it's about Heads on Nashville, say that and I can find it much easier.
All right.
I'm still trying to find the email I sent you all so I can reply all. I sent one on Monday. Yeah, I sometimes it's easier if I, you know, create a new email, but then I had to find everybody's email address.
You can just reply all and change the subject and delete everything.
Yeah, but I'm trying to find one email where I have all of your email addresses. Okay, found it.
And I think with this, I mean, like it's important that we all get it, but I don't know that it's important that we look at it right now. I will commit to looking at
Okay,
this.
I just sent it to you all.
Yeah, I'll look at to see if there's any of the questions I can answer and maybe give some insight to just from the NECAT side of it. And we'll just go from there. And maybe we can, in that email chain, have any conversation, you know, after the meeting is over about best way to step forward with that.
And big fella, I know you said you were waiting on some stuff from Nashville TN, but they still had, did they ever send us any updates on that deck?
No, they did not send anything on it. 77, I talked to him about it. They wanted us to answer a couple questions so that they just wanted to make sure we had input on, that NECAT had input on the process and the deck. Yeah, Brian from Nashville TN, he kind of, I guess he had some stuff going on, so I haven't really talked to him. But I know the guys at NECAT have been talking, we talked about it, and they sent over this one thing and were like, hey, let's, they're gonna help put together that deck. So I sent them all the stuff that you sent and just waiting for us to answer a couple questions so they can kind of come back with something with our input in it.
Yeah, I think that depended on the answers that we gave them on that PDF that you sent out. They were waiting for us to give them those answers so they can move forward.
And they were like, just any of it, just to have any input. He said it's a lot of general questions on there. It's like we just wanted to make sure they had NECAT's like footprint inside of whatever they were putting together and sending. Even if we don't answer all of them, just so we have any of them that we can answer to give them some more info.
I think we should put that on the schedule for the next creative subcommittee meeting. I think everyone should look at it, and then we can have any conversation there. But again, like do it all through an email chain.
Yeah.
Just so all of it's in text writing, but we can also talk about it there because I know some people are pressed for time today, and just since no one has looked at it yet, we shouldn't do it at this very moment.
All day long.
Yeah. Another thing that I forgot to mention was that we had a Feel Good Friday with the Dimas House, and they have a big commercial kitchen and I talked to her about probably we could use that as, collaborate with them and record your show, big fella. And they say yes. So they have a huge commercial kitchen, and they are open to collaborate with us on filming there. You're so serious. What is going on?
I love that idea. I think it's great.
Big fella, I'm talking to you.
No, I heard you. I need a either I like that or I don't like that.
No, you need to give me some feedback. I'm waiting for you to say something.
Oh, I'm sorry about that. That's appreciate the thoughts. When you shoot something there, I like shooting cooking show in the kitchen. I already have because everything's there and it's easy. I don't want to have to transport everything over there for the most we're gonna shoot is 2 or 3 shows at once, and then it'll be like bringing in what you need. And I just don't want to think about all that right now. A lot of moving parts.
Okay,
But I appreciate the thoughts, and I think there is something we can do there. There's something we can do there. Yeah.
Yeah, it's always good to have an option for a production kitchen for any other cooking segments we want to do.
Yeah.
Or for members to know that we could access it if it's something that they want to produce and need the space for.
All the way.
Anyways, I think that we spoke with about everything that I had on my list of things to chat about. And is there anything else that we need to discuss? This meeting's been short. I feel like I'll talk a lot. Brian, anything you want to say or add or contribute?
No, but when you get to talking about the social media campaigns, and if we want to talk about adding a publicity side to that, let me know and I'll be happy to weigh in there.
Fantastic. Yeah, I will send out a doodle so you guys for next week can see who's available to meet so we can talk about the different marketing ideas and the campaign for the big payback. It'll be great if you can attend.
Okay.
Hey, John, I know you said that we're still on that same phase 2 at the studio, right? Did they give you any clue at all about moving forward?
So they've got a chair of their committee that is making those decisions, the COVID-19 committee. And, I reach out regularly to ask, what the status is. And she usually responds by saying, we have no plans currently to move into the next phase. So I'm sure they're just trying to figure it out too. And they update when they have an update. You know what I mean? I think everybody's sort of, I think early on, they had given us a estimate of the spring of 2021. but I feel like, you know, it has gone on longer than a lot of people anticipated, and that was just an estimate. So they're probably afraid to make any other estimates and make it afraid to you know, try to ballpark when it's going to be, because they don't want to have us be thinking, oh, well, you said this day, and now look at we're at this point now, and how come we're not open? And so they're just probably trying to, I assume they're probably trying to protect themselves from saying something that they can't make good on the promise, which I can understand that, because I'm sort of in the same position with our members who keep on asking us, and you know, sort of in the same position I'm in with this board, where you know, I can say that, oh, I think that we'll be open by this day, but I think that we've all learned that, you know, we are not necessarily working on the timeline we want. We're working on the timeline that we're given, and we have to sort of respect the process that the powers that be put in place for us, you know, whether it be, you know, the federal government or state government, or in this case, the, you know, the campus, the people who own the place where we are. So yeah, unfortunately, I don't have, and I don't think they have any sort of estimate, because I think everybody's sort of in a wait and see. But like I said during my remarks, the fact that everybody is getting, you know, vaccines and things are seemingly starting to open up, as far as the city is making decisions that are, you know, allowing more people to gather. You know, the numbers are increasing as far as what's being allowed to happen. So I'd like to believe that we are very close to the end, but you know, I also don't want to make any predictions, because anything can happen at this point.
No, that feels really fair. I understand their position of not wanting to. I just didn't know if there's any buzz. I feel like that's such a, like, if we could just have some, you know, to the public be able to say this is on the horizon. I was just curious if they gave you any, but I agree. I mean, places that are staying shut down and following the rules, and they keep saying, like, hang in there, just ride it out, hold the line. So
yeah, I never would have assumed that we'd be closed for a full calendar year. It's been insane. But you know, I think that impatience is what usually creates problems, as far as, you know, just extending it more. You know, when you
right.
have impatience, you're just basically doing yourself a disservice, and everybody who's involved with you, by putting everybody at risk or doing things that are going to put people at risk. So we don't want to do that.
Shayla, did anybody say anything more about that committee that you said had gotten together and was interviewing certain people and whatnot about NECAT?
No, I saw that I was going to be invited to those meetings, but no, I have not been invited, and I don't know anything about it. I think Cam spoke with Tyler about it once, and he said that great things were coming, but I have no idea. So
all right, I was just curious. Sorry to.
Yeah,
I was
that's Breck Walker, who I spoke about when I was talking. Like, he emailed me this morning saying that he would be willing to have a conversation. We just have to schedule a phone call. I think there isn't an update to give. Like Shayla said, I did talk to Tyler just on a personal matter, and he mentioned to me that everything over there was very positive, that they did have some what he felt were good ideas, and I think they're going to present that stuff to the mayor's office, and then invite our board to listen to it and take in, you know, what is there, and do what you guys do as far as, like, making, you know, the best decisions and voting on everything. So, but no real update. I think there's stuff happening over there, but we don't know about it yet.
And so we might want to just back burner this as a thought, that at some point communicating to them where we are with our cash runway, so they understand the urgency of that.
I do believe that they are aware of it, just with the nature of whenever Tyler rolled off the board, he almost immediately went over there. So I think he has been expressing that concern to them. Obviously, he isn't up to the day and date of today, but I think whenever that started, that was very much the concern of this needed to happen before the end of the fiscal year. You know, everything that they had to say needed to get said and decided on before that ended.
yeah, and unfortunately, our hands are tied on that end, you know. So all we can do is hope for the best, you know. And it sucks that it's been officially a year since we've been out of NECAT. But you know, we just need to keep the members engaged and get them to keep producing even though they are at home. A lot of people in the arts and the filming industry, they are filming. They're just doing what they need to do to stay healthy. And I think that's why we need to encourage our members to do that. They film and you wear their mask and clean their hands and sanitize everything, and don't get in gatherings of more than 10 people so they can stay healthy and provide some content. Other than that, I don't think anything else that we can do except what we are doing, you know?
Right. And I think it's always important that we focus on the positive, all of the great things that have happened this year, all of the great things our members have been able to do, and all of the ways that it has made us rethink what NECAT does and how we approach things, to never be put in this position again. I think it's, in the long run, as painful as this has been to be out of the studio, I think it is going to help us grow in a major way once we're all back together again.
Yes, definitely. Anything else anybody want to add that we haven't discussed? Any ideas? Everybody's so quiet today. All right, well, if there is anything else that we need to discuss, there are no more objections. I move to adjourn this meeting. And with that, I will end. What you were gonna say, Brian?
I was just going to second it.
Oh, okay. I was like, nobody's gonna say
If you're going to move it, we need to second it. So
okay, good.
gotta-
And now with that, I'm gonna stop the recording.